President Trump and the First Lady hosted a trick-or-treat event at what's left of the White House. And this is one of my favorite things that the president does because it's so clear he never trick-or-treated once in his life. Like, in his first term, here's how he gave candy to a kid dressed as a minion. Melania's just like, I guess that is how it's done. And then again this year, he did it to a kid dressed as DJ Marshmallow. Just put it in the bag. Why is he so weird? Even the kid is like, this is not... It's kind of an embodiment of his entire presidency because it's just a violation of norms that no other president or person has ever conceived of. Like, who's ever thought, I should put the candy on the kid's head? My favorite part, though, was when Trump and Melania made a grand entrance to this song. Michael Jackson's Thriller. Just the perfect soundtrack to lure kids to a famous mansion.
Due to the government shutdown, SNAP food benefits ran out of funds today, but the government still provides needy families with free food through the Second Amendment. Japan's new Prime Minister Sanai Takachi said during a press conference that she is nominating President Trump for the Nobel Peace Prize. And I can't believe I get to say this, but thank God nobody listens to women.
President Trump met with Chinese President Xi Jinping. When asked how the meeting went, Trump said this.
But overall, I guess on the scale from 0 to 10, with 10 being the best, I would say the meeting was a 12.
I guess Trump just wanted to show China we're still way worse at math. Trump also visited South Korea and was given a gold crown and served beef patties with ketchup for dinner. So they basically got the President of the United States a Happy Meal with a toy.
Critics of President Trump are calling him tone deaf for posting pictures of his newly renovated White House bathroom during the government shutdown. But I'm happy that the floor looks slippery.
The state of Texas is suing Tylenol, claiming that it is linked to autism, or as it's called in Texas, boy ain't right.
Curtis Sliwa, a Republican candidate for mayor of New York and the world's only White Panther, has been endorsed by Rudy Giuliani. But Giuliani only likes him because his poll numbers are between 9 and 11. 9/11. Did I do it right? Did I do it right?
Good evening, I'm A, and I'm B, and this is the news desk where we take a week that felt like a decade and shrink it back down to a decade. I mean, a week. It's been a long week. It has. Let's just get into it before something else happens. Iran and Oman are reportedly close to finalizing a deal to reopen the Strait of Hormuz, with the new route giving Tehran control over which ships pass through. So to summarize, after a war, a blockade, and a missile shortage, the plan is just let Iran run the toll booth. Very the Fox is now doing security consulting for the hen house. It's also being reported the U.S. has burned through most of its ATAC-MS and precision strike missile stockpile during the fighting, which explains why the next Pentagon budget request is just a screenshot of an empty Amazon cart. Zelenskyy said this week that allies have delivered only a third of the air defense missiles to Ukraine this year that they delivered last year. At this point, Europe's foreign policy is basically a group chat where everyone says, I got it, and nobody actually orders. Meanwhile, 25 Democratic-led states filed a lawsuit against the administration over tariffs. 25 states suing over the price of things, which coincidentally is also why I haven't bought groceries in 3 weeks. The EU rolled out new rules this month requiring AI systems to identify themselves before talking to a human. Finally, some honesty legislation. Now, if only they'd pass a law forcing my dating app matches to identify themselves as AI. A federal judge is weighing in on immigration protections for military families this week after reports that dozens of spouses of active duty troops have had protections rolled back. Nothing says support the troops like quietly changing the paperwork while they're overseas. South Korea announced it's stepping back from insisting on North Korea's immediate denuclearization. Bold strategy. That's the diplomatic version of we stopped asking him to get a job. We just hope he moves out eventually. And the U.S. dollar weakened sharply against the yen this week. Every American traveling to Japan right now is finding out in real time what it feels like to be priced out of a Kit Kat. AI agents are reportedly now closing support tickets, reconciling invoices, and writing code overnight while human employees sleep.
So basically, the AI has already unionized against sleep, which is more than I can say for myself. Software agents are also starting to shop and negotiate on people's behalf. Great, now even my impulse purchases won't be my own poor decision-making. There'll be a robot's poor decision-making on my card. A cybersecurity story broke this week about attacks on water systems across a dozen states allegedly linked to foreign hackers. Turns out the cloud they warned us about wasn't storage, it was our actual drinking water. Analysts are still buzzing about how fast AI-written content is flooding search results and social feeds. At this point, when I see a 5-star review that says, "This changed my life," I assume it's either a bot or someone who really needed a new spatula. There's also a growing trend of companies quietly replacing customer service lines with AI chat, which means the hold music hasn't changed, it's just now being generated in real time to personally torment you. Ariana Grande is reportedly taking a break from the public eye after wrapping her Chicago shows. A pop star announcing she needs a break from being famous, truly the "it's not you, it's me" breakup speech to an entire planet. Charli D'Amelio turned heads at a Hollywood event in a vintage designer look this week. A TikToker at a fashion event, "The circle of life is complete. We've officially run out of new professions to invent." Tiger Woods says he's seeking treatment following a DUI arrest and car crash. At some point, Tiger's autobiography is just going to be titled "It Wasn't the Golf." Howie Mandel publicly apologized to Kelly Ripa this week after a tense on-air exchange. Nothing repairs a friendship like a live audience watching it fall apart in real time and then a press release fixing it 2 days later. Robert Pattinson is starring in an upcoming A24 film playing a journalist known for catching predators on camera. So we've gone from Pattinson playing a vampire who avoids sunlight to playing a guy who ambushes people in the sunlight. Character growth. A well-known internet personality was hospitalized this week after authorities responded to a concerning live stream. We keep building bigger platforms for people to have smaller and smaller breakdowns on live with comments on. Scarlett Johansson launched a skincare line for sensitive skin, saying her husband has been her guinea pig throughout testing. Marrying a comedy writer means eventually becoming unpaid product testing labor. That's just the terms and conditions nobody reads. Michigan reported its first 2 deaths tied to a cyclosporiasis outbreak this week, a parasite usually linked to contaminated produce. So now even the salad is out here trying to end you. There is nowhere left to hide. Poland is appealing a court ruling that says it owes over €1 billion for unwanted COVID vaccine doses. Turns out, "no thank you, we're good" is not a legally binding return policy in the EU. New Jersey police recaptured an escaped pig this week that had been on the loose for days. Respect to that pig, best unsupervised week any of us has had all year. A Liberian flagged cargo ship went missing in the Strait of Hormuz after reportedly being struck by an unidentified projectile. Unidentified projectile is doing an enormous amount of diplomatic lifting in that sentence. A new report says the U.S. Navy has had fighter jets fall off aircraft carriers into the ocean again. At what point do we just admit the ocean has better aim than we do? Meanwhile, a wave of record-breaking heat and wildfires is sweeping across Europe this month. Europeans who spent decades mocking American air conditioning as excessive have collectively entered their "okay, maybe you guys had a point" era. Fashion Month kicked off early this year with designers pushing their runway shows up before the official September start. Nothing says the world is on fire like an industry deciding it simply cannot wait one more week to show you a coat. That's the news, or at least the version of it that made us laugh before it made us anxious, which this week was about a 50-50 split. For BIMA, good night and go hug something that isn't a phone.